The camera pans across a stormy, wind-swept mountain trail, rain lashing against jagged rocks. A lone German shepherd, fur matted and eyes wild with desperation, limps into view, whining softly. His massive paws scrape the ground as he collapses near a muddy path, his gaze fixed on a distant figure, a rugged hiker named Eli, bundled in a rain-soaked jacket, unaware of the dog's presence. Thunder rumbles, and the dog lets out a heart-wrenching howl, a sound so raw it pierces the storm's roar. Eli freezes, his breath catching. He turns, locking eyes with the shepherd, whose stare burns with an almost human urgency. Something about the dog's trembling form and unyielding gaze tells Eli this isn't just a stray. It's a creature on a mission. His heart pounds as he steps closer, rain blurring his vision, sensing this moment will change his life forever. Eli kneels beside the shepherd, his hands trembling as he reaches out. The dog's fur is cold, soaked through, and a faint whimper escapes its throat as Eli's fingers brush a deep gash on its flank. "What happened to you, boy?" Eli whispers, his voice barely audible over the storm. The dog nudges Eli's hand, then struggles to its feet, tugging at his sleeve with its teeth, urging him to follow. Doubt creeps into Eli's mind. This trail is dangerous, and night is falling fast, but the shepherd's eyes, glinting with fierce determination, hold a story untold. Eli's chest tightens with a mix of fear and curiosity. He grabs his flashlight, its beam cutting through the rain, and follows the dog into the darkening wilderness, each step a leap into the unknown. The trail narrows, a slick ledge hugging a sheer cliff face. The German shepherd moves with purpose, despite its limp, glancing back to ensure Eli follows. The wind howls, and loose rocks tumble into the abyss below, each clatter amplifying Eli's racing pulse. He grips his backpack straps, whispering to himself, "This is crazy!" Yet the dog's resolve pulls him forward, like a tether to something greater. The shepherd pauses at a fork in the path, sniffing the air, then chooses the steeper, more perilous route. Eli hesitates, his boots sinking into the mud, but the dog's low growl, a mix of urgency and trust, spurs him on. He feels a strange bond forming, as if this animal knows something he doesn't, something worth risking everything for. As they climb, Eli's mind drifts to his childhood dog, Max, a German shepherd who once saved him from a frozen pond. The memory floods him with warmth and pain. Max had passed years ago, leaving a void Eli never filled. This dog, with its proud stance and soulful eyes, feels like Max reborn, stirring emotions Eli thought he'd buried. The shepherd stops abruptly, ears perked, staring into a dense thicket. Eli's flashlight catches a faint glint, something metallic buried in the underbrush. His heart skips. Could this be a clue to the dog's mission? The rain intensifies, and the dog barks sharply, snapping Eli back to the present, urging him to keep moving before the trail washes away. Eli pushes through the thorny thicket, his hands scratched and bleeding. The shepherd watches intently as Eli unearths a tattered collar, its tag engraved with the name Atlas. The dog whines, nudging the collar, its eyes brimming with recognition. Eli's throat tightens. Atlas isn't just a stray. He belongs to someone, somewhere, and his wounds suggest a story of survival. The collar's tag also bears a faded address, miles away in a remote valley. Eli's mind races. Who is Atlas searching for? The dog tugs at Eli's sleeve again, more insistent now as lightning cracks overhead. The stakes feel higher, the mission clearer. Eli pockets the collar, vowing to follow Atlas, no matter the cost. The trail descends to a swollen river, its currents raging under the storm's fury. Atlas paces along the bank, his barks frantic, eyes fixed on something across the water. Eli squints through the rain, spotting a faint shape, a collapsed bridge, its wooden beams splintered and dangling. His stomach drops. Crossing seems impossible. Atlas leaps into the shallows, fighting the current, then looks back at Eli as if pleading for trust. Eli's heart pounds. He's no hero, just a man who hikes to escape his mundane life. But Atlas's unwavering gaze ignites something in him. A spark of courage he didn't know he had. He ties a rope from his pack to a tree and steps into the icy water, following the dog's lead. The river's current is merciless, pulling at Eli's legs like invisible hands. Atlas swims ahead, his powerful strokes defying his injuries. Eli clings to the rope, his muscles burning, each step a battle against the water's force. A log surges past, narrowly missing him, and Eli's breath catches as he realizes how close he is to death. Atlas reaches the far bank, shaking off water, and barks encouragement. Eli grits his teeth, picturing the collar in his pocket, the name Atlas fueling his resolve. He stumbles onto the shore, gasping, and collapses beside the dog. Atlas licks his face, a gesture so tender it brings tears to Eli's eyes, binding them in this shared fight. The storm quiets as they enter a misty valley. The air thick, with an eerie stillness. Atlas's pace quickens, his nose low to the ground, as if drawn by an invisible thread. Eli's flashlight flickers, casting long shadows that dance across twisted trees. The silence feels heavy, like the world is holding its breath, waiting for what comes next. Eli's thoughts churn. Why is Atlas so driven? Who or what is he leading them to? The dog's determination is almost supernatural, as if guided by a force beyond instinct. Eli's skin prickles with goosebumps, sensing they're on the edge of something extraordinary, something that could redefine everything he believes. A dilapidated cabin emerges from the mist, its windows dark, roof sagging under years of neglect. Atlas bolts toward it, scratching at the door, his whines growing desperate. Eli's heart races. This must be the place, the heart of Atlas's mission. He pushes the door open, the creak echoing in the silence, revealing a dusty interior frozen in time. Inside, Eli finds signs of life. A child's drawing on the wall, a half-burned candle, a worn blanket. Atlas sniffs a corner, pawing at a trap door. Eli's pulse quickens. Something or someone is below. He grips the rusted handle, his hands trembling, as Atlas's eyes urge him to act. The trapdoor groans open, revealing darkness and a faint heartbreaking sound. A child's weak cry rises from the trapdoor, faint but unmistakable. Eli's heart stops. This is no ordinary rescue. He calls down, "Hello? Can you hear me?" The cry grows louder, tinged with fear and hope. Atlas whines, pressing against Eli, his body trembling with urgency. Eli grabs his flashlight, its beam piercing the dark stairwell, and descends, each step creaking under his weight. The air below is damp, thick with the scent of earth and decay. Eli's mind races with questions. How long has this child been here? Who left them? Atlas follows close, his growls low and protective. At the bottom, Eli's light falls on a small figure curled in a corner, a girl no older than 10, shivering and clutching a torn photo of a German shepherd. The girl, Lila, looks up, her eyes wide with fear and recognition as she sees Atlas. "You came back," she whispers, tears streaming down her dirt-streaked face. Atlas bounds to her, licking her hands, his tail wagging despite his wounds. Eli kneels beside her, his voice gentle. "I'm Eli. We're here to help." Lila's story spills out. She was trapped when the cabin's floor collapsed during a storm, her parents missing, and Atlas had run for help. Eli's chest aches at her bravery, her trust in Atlas. He wraps his jacket around her, noticing her ankle is swollen, likely broken. The trapdoor's collapse means they can't go back up that way. Eli's resolve hardens. He'll find another way out, for Lila, for Atlas, for the bond they've forged in this impossible moment. Eli searches the basement, his flashlight revealing crumbling walls and scattered debris. Atlas stays by Lila, his warmth keeping her calm as she clings to his fur. Eli finds a narrow tunnel, barely wide enough for a person, hidden behind a pile of crates. His heart sinks. It's their only chance, but it looks unstable, ready to collapse. Lila's voice trembles. Atlas never gave up on me. He'll get us out. Her faith in the dog stirs Eli's courage, but fear gnaws at him. He's no hero, just a man who stumbled into this. Yet Atlas's steady gaze, so full of trust, pushes him to act. He ties his rope around his waist, securing Lila to his back, and crawls into the tunnel, Atlas leading the way. The tunnel is claustrophobic, its walls slick with mud and roots. Eli's shoulders scrape against the earth, each movement threatening to bring the ceiling down. Lila's small hands grip his shoulders, her breaths shallow but steady. Atlas crawls ahead, his low growls echoing, as if warning the darkness itself to stay back. A distant rumble shakes the tunnel and dirt rains down. Eli freezes, his heart pounding, picturing them buried alive. Lila whispers, "Keep going, Eli." Atlas knows the way. Her words, so small yet fierce, ignite a fire in him. He pushes forward, trusting the dog's instincts, each inch a battle against fear and doubt. A section of the tunnel caves in behind them, the roar deafening as dust chokes the air. Eli shields Lila, coughing, his flashlight flickering. Atlas barks frantically, digging at the blockage, his paws a blur. Eli joins him, clawing at the dirt, his hands raw and bleeding. The tunnel feels like a tomb. But giving up isn't an option. Not with Lila's life in his hands. Atlas breaks through, revealing a faint light ahead. Eli's heart leaps. Freedom is close, but the tunnel is weakening. He crawls faster. Lila's weight a reminder of his purpose. Atlas's barks guide them, a beacon in the dark, as Eli prays they'll make it before the earth claims them. The tunnel opens to a rocky outcrop, the storm now a distant drizzle. Eli emerges, gasping, setting Lila down gently. Atlas bounds out, shaking off dirt, his eyes bright with triumph. The valley stretches below, serene under a clearing sky, but Eli's relief is short-lived. Lila's ankle needs care, and they're miles from help. Lila clings to Atlas, her voice soft. "He found you, didn't he?" Eli nods, stroking the dog's fur, marveling at his strength. The bond between Lila and Atlas is palpable, a love forged in survival. Eli's heart swells. He's part of their story now, a story he never expected to live. Eli fashions a splint for Lila's ankle using sticks and his torn shirt. Carrying her, he follows Atlas, who seems to know the way through the valley. The terrain is rugged, each step a test of endurance, but Atlas's steady pace keeps Eli grounded. The dog's wounds are worsening, yet he presses on, as if Lila's safety is his only purpose. Eli's thoughts drift to his own life, safe, predictable, empty. This journey, this risk, has awakened something in him. Lila's small hand squeezes his shoulder, and he realizes he's not just saving her, she's saving him, giving him a purpose he'd lost. The stars emerge above, guiding their path, a silent promise of hope. A low growl from Atlas halts them. In the moonlight, a pair of glowing eyes watches from the trees. A wolf, lean and hungry. Eli's heart races. They're exposed, vulnerable. He sets Lila down behind a boulder, whispering, "Stay quiet." Atlas stands firm, hackles raised, his growl a warning to the predator. The wolf circles, its movement silent but deadly. Eli grips a sharp rock, his hands trembling, knowing he's no match for a wild animal. Atlas lunges, teeth bared, driving the wolf back. The clash is brief but fierce, and Eli's chest tightens. Atlas is risking everything. The wolf retreats, and Atlas returns, bloodied but unbowed, his loyalty a beacon in the dark. Eli kneels beside Atlas, checking his wounds. Fresh blood seeps from a bite on his shoulder, and Eli's heart aches. This dog has given everything. Lila crawls to Atlas, tears falling as she buries her face in his fur. "You're so brave," she whispers, her voice breaking. Eli feels a lump in his throat, marveling at the dog's sacrifice. They can't stop now. Eli lifts Lila again, his muscles screaming, and urges Atlas to keep moving. The dog limps but refuses to falter, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Eli's respect deepens. This isn't just a rescue, it's a testament to love, to the unbreakable bond between a girl and her dog. Hours pass, and a faint glow appears, a village nestled in the valley. Eli's heart leaps, but exhaustion weighs him down. Lila's breaths are shallow, her face pale, and Atlas's steps are slowing. Eli whispers to them both, "Well, we're almost there." Hold on. The promise of safety feels so close yet so fragile. Atlas stumbles, his strength fading, but he pushes forward, driven by an unseen force. Eli's eyes burn with tears. He's never seen such resilience. He carries Lila tighter, vowing to honor Atlas's sacrifice, to get them all to safety. The village lights grow brighter, a beacon of hope in their darkest hour. They reach the village outskirts where a group of locals spots them. A woman gasps, rushing forward, recognizing Lila. "My God, it's Lila!" she cries, tears streaming. The villagers surround them, offering blankets and water. Eli sets Lila down, his arms trembling, as a medic checks her ankle. Atlas collapses beside her, panting, his eyes never leaving her. The woman, Lila's aunt, sobs as she hugs her niece. "We thought you were gone," she says, then turns to Eli, her gratitude overwhelming. Eli shakes his head, pointing to Atlas. "He's the hero." The villagers murmur in awe, their eyes on the battered German shepherd, whose loyalty has defied all odds. A local vet arrives, examining Atlas's wounds. "He's in bad shape," she says, her voice grim. "We need to get him to the clinic now." Eli's heart sinks. Atlas saved them. But at what cost? Lila clings to her dog, whispering, "You can't leave me." The vet's urgency spurs Eli into action. He helps carry Atlas to a truck, his hands shaking. The ride to the clinic is tense, Lila holding Atlas's paw, her eyes pleading. Eli sits beside them, his mind replaying the journey, the storm, the river, the wolf. Atlas's breathing is shallow, but his eyes remain fixed on Lila, a silent vow to stay with her. Eli prays for a miracle, for this hero to survive. At the clinic, the vet works swiftly, cleaning Atlas's wounds and starting an IV. Lila refuses to leave his side, her small hand stroking his fur. Eli watches, his heart heavy, knowing Atlas's fight isn't over. The vet looks up, her expression softening. He's strong. There's a chance. Eli feels a flicker of hope, but fear lingers. Atlas has given so much. Lila's voice breaks the silence, singing a soft lullaby to Atlas, the same one her mother sang to her. The melody fills the room, raw and beautiful, and Eli's eyes well up. The bond between girl and dog is a force of nature, one that even science can't explain. He vows to stay until Atlas pulls through. Word of Atlas's heroics spreads, reaching a team of animal behaviorists studying canine intelligence. They arrive at the clinic, drawn by the story of a dog who defied death to save his owner. Dr. Clara Voss, a renowned scientist, observes Atlas, her eyes wide with wonder. "This goes beyond instinct," she says. "It's almost Human. Eli shares the journey. The collar, the tunnel, the wolf. Clara's team records every detail, their instruments tracking Atlas's vitals, searching for answers. Lila watches, confused, but proud, her hand never leaving Atlas's side. Eli feels a swell of pride, too. This dog has rewritten what they thought possible. Clara reveals a startling discovery. Atlas's collar tag contains a microchip with coordinates, not just an address. The team traces it to a remote research outpost, abandoned after a landslide. Lila's parents were scientists there, studying wildlife, and went missing during the disaster. Atlas wasn't just saving Lila. He was leading Eli to the truth. Eli's mind reels. Was Atlas trying to find his owners too? The dog's loyalty, his uncanny sense of purpose, leaves the scientists speechless. Lila's eyes fill with hope and grief. She might find her parents, but Atlas's condition remains fragile. Eli grips her shoulder, promising to help uncover the truth. With Atlas stable, Eli and Clara organize a search for the outpost, guided by the microchip's coordinates. Lila insists on coming, her determination mirroring Atlas's. The vet warns she needs rest, but Lila's eyes burn with resolve. Atlas didn't give up. I won't either. Eli nods, feeling the weight of their shared mission. They set out at dawn, a small team with Clara's equipment and Atlas's collar as their guide. The terrain is unforgiving, but Lila's courage and the memory of Atlas's strength push them forward. Eli feels the stakes rising. This isn't just about rescue anymore, it's about uncovering a mystery that could change lives. The team reaches the outpost, a crumbling structure buried under rubble. Clara's scanners detect faint signals, possible signs of life. Eli's heart races as he digs, his hands raw, driven by the hope of finding Lila's parents. Lila calls out for them, her voice echoing through the ruins, a sound both desperate and brave. Atlas's collar lies in Eli's pocket, a talisman of their journey. He imagines the dog's spirit guiding them, his loyalty a beacon. Clara finds a locked bunker door, its keypad still active. Eli's pulse quickens. Someone might be inside, but time is running out, and the ruins are unstable. Clara hacks the keypad, and the bunker door creaks open, revealing a dark chamber. Eli's flashlight sweeps across lab equipment, maps, and journals. Lila's parents were studying a rare mineral with strange properties. A faint groan comes from a corner, and Eli rushes forward, finding two figures. Lila's parents, weak but alive, trapped since the landslide. Lila sobs, running to them, her joy tempered by worry for Atlas. Eli helps carry her parents out, his heart soaring but heavy. The scientists' journals hint at a discovery that could explain Atlas's uncanny intelligence, something tied to the mineral. Clara's eyes widen. She's never seen anything like it. Back at the village, Lila's parents embrace her, tears flowing as they thank Eli and Atlas. The vet reports Atlas is improving, his strength returning against all odds. Lila runs to him, her laughter filling the clinic as Atlas licks her face. Eli watches, his heart full, knowing he's witnessed a miracle. Clara's team studies the journals, confirming the mineral's effects on animal cognition. Atlas's exposure during the outpost experiments gave him near-human awareness, explaining his heroic journey. The scientists are stunned, their findings poised to rewrite biology. Eli smiles. Atlas is more than science. He's a hero. News of Atlas's story spreads, going viral online. Clips of the rescue shared by villagers rack up millions of views. People comment, "This dog is unreal," and "I'm crying." Eli, Lila, and Atlas become symbols of hope, their story inspiring strangers worldwide. Clara's team publishes their findings, sparking debates about animal intelligence. Eli visits Atlas daily, bringing treats and sitting with Lila. The dog's recovery is slow but steady, his eyes still bright with purpose. Eli feels changed, no longer the aimless hiker. He's part of something bigger, a story that will live in hearts forever, just as Atlas lives in his. Months later, Eli stands at a ceremony honoring Atlas, now fully healed, his fur gleaming. Lila, her ankle healed, holds his leash, her parents by her side. The village unveils a statue of a German shepherd, a tribute to Atlas's courage. Eli speaks, his voice cracking. Atlas showed us what love can do. He's our hero, always. The crowd cheers, tears in their eyes as Atlas barks, his sound echoing through the valley. Clara's research continues, but she admits some things defy explanation. Atlas's heart, his will, his bond with Lila. Eli looks at the stars, feeling Max's presence, knowing Atlas's story will inspire generations, a tale of sacrifice, hope, and unbreakable love.